Everyone hates Adin Ross.
When people talk about controversial streamers, there's almost always one name that comes up first.
Adin Ross.
Adin Ross is interesting because on one hand, he's top 1% successful. But on the other, this is how the internet describes him.
The Adin Ross is a goddamn idiot.
Scumbag.
Laughing stock. Hypocritical.
Stupid. Racist and misogynistic far-right streamer, Adin Ross.
Do people hate Adin that much? Do people hate Adin that much?
To start off the interview, I guess the first question we would have for you is, would you say that online you're hated?
Damn.
Adin has built an empire on being the bad guy. Why?
Controversy sells.
And he's right, it pays to be the villain.
I don't give a
But when you wear a mask for profit long enough, you eventually forget how to take it off. So what's the most true and authentic version of Adin Ross? Well, I've come to realize that the answer to that question is a bit more complicated than you'd think. To understand Adin Ross, we need to go back to before the controversial rise. Back to when he was just starting to figure out something far more simple. How to get people's attention. Adin grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, at least until his parents' divorce scattered his childhood across the country. One year, he was the new kid in New York.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, it's always so fire how people got these like journalistic skills and then they research like YouTubers and little creators and stuff like that. This is a skill, bro. This is what like the news be doing, the like big stuff and like propaganda. You can create a whole narrative on somebody if you had these kind of editing skills and this kind of narration voice. This is gonna be a fire video, I can already tell.
Next in California, then eventually back to Florida again.
If I get 50,000 followers on Vine...
But constantly restarting life like that forced Adin to adapt fast. He had to figure out new social dynamics and find new friend groups over and over again. He learned quickly that the easiest way to fit in was to become a mirror, to read the room, make people laugh, and give them exactly the version of him they wanted to see. When you were bouncing around from school to school, do you think that that helped you, like, become the perfect streamer? Like, you figured out how to entertain.
I think, yes. I think being socially uncomfortable, being thrown into the deep end of the pool, it makes you. It really, really does.
You see, Adin started off as a kid who was forced to learn how to fit in. And in the process, he accidentally trained himself for the perfect job. When he started...
Hot take. Anybody who streams or create content, you gotta have some kind of social, I wanna say, deficiency. Because to sit in front of a screen and just talk, it's not easy at all. So you gotta be so reclusive and into yourself that you can talk to something that's not even there. There is a little bit of insanity into being able to stream and to be able to sit in front of a screen and just talk to yourself. I'm not gonna lie, you feel me? Especially if you got like siblings and you got a family, it's hard to kind of focus on television and what you got going on right in front of you, unless there's no one beside you, if that makes sense. I think some of the biggest streamers were probably lonely at first.
Streaming NBA 2K from his bedroom, that same survival instinct from school kicked in. He'd read the chat and adjust his personality in real time to give the viewers exactly what they wanted.
You guys are going crazy with the subs, bro.
And that was the secret weapon that took him from a no-name 2K streamer to the face of Twitch in under a year. Adin saw the ceiling on gaming content and pivoted hard. He quit streaming 2K and rolled out a series called E-Dating that absolutely exploded online.
I remember that.
But what made Adin Ross a household name was his streams with rappers. Think of these streams like a late-night talk show. If the host was 20 years old, totally...
And don't forget the sus stuff. What got Adin popping with a lot of people, he was saying a lot of stuff, a lot of sus stuff. RP Fulio, he was saying a lot of sus stuff too. That's what had people like clipping him so crazy. Like before there was really clippers, he was getting clipped up so much because he kept saying all this sus stuff on the internet where everybody be like, pause, pause, pause. He kept saying the crazies. And still sometimes he still do say sus stuff. Like, you feel me? I don't know.
Prepared and openly flirting with the guests.
How big is your dick?
Big enough.
I just called it. I just said that was gonna happen. I just said that was gonna happen, bro. I just called it, bro. I just said that was gonna happen, bro. That's crazy.
Adin leaned into being sus, pushing boundaries, making things awkward, and treating platinum-selling artists like they were his actual friends. It shattered the barrier between Hollywood and social media.
Tekka,
the internet
Tekka?
ate it up. Adin gained over 2 million followers in April alone.
Y'all like Tekka chat?
Love you, Tekka.
He was averaging viewer counts in the 6 figures, and
Anybody
quite
in
literally
the
becoming
chat like
the
Tekka?
future of Twitch. For a brief moment, Adin had it all. He was the face
Bro,
of
he
streaming.
was heavy on
was
the sus
suddenly
stuff,
friends
right?
with the influencers that he once adored.
Crazy.
But that level of fame is
$5
dangerous
up
because
next.
once you have the
Make
attention
sure you
of
drop that
millions,
follow while
you
you're here,
become a
bro.
target for people
Holla
who
at
want
me,
to
man.
buy your influence. The deals that pay insane money, but always come with a
I might
catch.
go live a little more if I got people watching me, man.
Think of it like a button. When you're the face of a platform like Twitch, it's as easy as pushing this button and a few $1 million pop out. The problem is the people writing these checks usually come from some shady places. It's dirty money. Every time you press that button, you sell a piece of your reputation. You invite the backlash in, and half the world learns to hate you just a little bit more.
The media hates me, bro. The mainstream media hates me, bro.
Most creators keep their distance. They see the money, sure, but they look at the cost and they walk away. And for
I think, hot take. No one's on the internet is that important unless they're like changing or like affecting government. You know what I mean? I think the most hectic thing that you can do is like endorse a president or something like that. Because then one side always gonna hate you. He just got this big though to be able to affect policy and stuff like that. And I'm not saying effectively laws. I'm saying he can get people to like Trump or whoever the case may be by who he is and how big he is. You know what I mean? Pause. Hey, yo. But more so like the average person, we don't care who you hang with. Just don't do no weird junk. Like don't be a creep. It's so nasty nowadays. Social media is so nasty nowadays because the creators are so nasty. We just don't want you to be a creep. Can't front. We don't care who you like or who you don't like. Ain't that deep.
while, Adin didn't risk it either, because at that point, Adin was widely known as the edgy, funny guy. When he came onto the scene, he ruffled feathers, but people loved him for it. But that button gets a lot harder to ignore when you grow up with nothing.
People think that like I had it very easy my whole life. We were financially stable, medium class, up until about senior year. It got really hard for us. And you know, I would go literally some nights without eating dinner.
He realized he could make every single one of those problems disappear forever. All he had to do was push the button.
Let's go, come on. Let's go.
How much is that?
Let's go.
The temptation became too irresistible. Adin took a massive sponsorship deal with Roobet, one of the earliest online crypto casinos, and suddenly he's gambling live on stream for insane amounts of money. Tens of thousands flying into cartoon slot machines while thousands of viewers watch. The reward was absurd. Leaked messages showed that he was making up to $2 million a month. His lifestyle inflated overnight. Luxury cars, LA man.
Y'all think that that's real, yo? When they be having these like gambling deals and like they be winning money on stream, you think that's like really their money? Cause like if you think about it, if you had like a gambling company, wouldn't you just give people money to gamble with so it go back to you? And then if they win, they get a little small payout, which probably also goes back to you. They could just be like doing it to get other people to spend their money. It's like a Ponzi scheme. Like if you could pay 10 people to sit in like a crowd, then 11, 12, 13 people might just come to that crowd too. You feel me? If something already look lit, I think it attracts a crowd anyway. People want to know what's going on. So I don't know how real these gambling like situations be, bro. Like you're getting paid to gamble. That's a scheme in itself, I feel like.
Watches that cost annual salaries.
I bought a Lambo before that, which was stupid, but at that time, I'm 19 years old.
Chat, I drove a Lambo hard. Like I had a Lamborghini, hard, tough, bro, tough. It's so addictive, bro. It's super fire. A little too loud for me. I can't drive it every day, but driving a Lamborghini was like, it used to be a dream of mine until I did it. And I felt it, like as far as like the adrenaline, and like I felt really, really, really well off. But then it's like it went away. It just turned into a car at that point, bro. And the adrenaline comes back every time somebody see you in a Lamborghini. That's the only time you really feel it. Other than that, you get used to it like anything else, bro. So when you see people who drive around these Lamborghinis and stuff like that, it's only lit to you. It's only lit to them when they can show it to you. When it's just parked at the crib, you're not thinking about that, bro. Like when I had the Lamborghini, it was just sitting there. It was sitting there, bro. And low key, you be scared to drive it because, like, I don't know, like where y'all from or where I'm from, it's mad potholes, low driveways, bro. It costs hella money. Plus, it's low key a scam. What you could do is you could get that Audi truck, look just like a Lambo, bro. Look just like it. But I ain't gonna lie, it is fly though.
I want to buy a Lamborghini to show everyone, like,
Yeah, it's $1 yours.
you.
The money was quite literally life-changing.
It was white. I think I got it on my Instagram, matter of
Help
fact.
his family. Give gifts to friends that don't even sound real.
This is not my car.
Swear my life. This is your house for a year locked. You don't have to worry about rent for a year.
Now, there's a dark side of the button, and we're getting to that. But first, we've got something exciting to tell you guys. So, we started this channel a little over a year ago, and genuinely, it was crazy to see how quickly it picked up steam. But we're also vlogs that gets cut out. Like this interview with Adin. We spoke for 45 minutes, and maybe big plans down the barrel of Okay, so you blew up super quick, and then you were like pretty
what,
well
4 out of 10?
loved at that point. You were edgy, you were a little sus, but everybody seemed to like you a lot. Towards the end of 2021, things kind of seemed to shift.
Anti-dollar too.
The first thing that we're going to talk about today, easily one of the most requested topics, involves gambling,
drive
and a
where the shifter
YouTuber,
is. It's on the stairway.
spotlighter,
Super
stars.
I had been hearing for a while.
Denny Blanco
about
in the
how
chat. What up,
online,
Denny Blanco? What's the
unregulated
vibes?
crypto casinos were hiring some of the biggest influencers
Welcome,
in the
chat.
world
All
to
100
promote
of y'all
them,
watching
and
me. What's
then
the vibe?
would
What's
pay
happening?
them for every
Say what's
fan
good.
they got to
Talk
sign
me,
up.
Talk to me.
He's willing to do anything to just make money off the back of his fans and then laugh.
I really
about it.
appreciate
You
y'all hanging out
started
with
to
me for
get
a
some
little while,
pushback
man.
from certain people, and you weren't as well liked in certain circles.
I don't know. Adin Ross, everything he has done is stupid.
He knows what he's doing is f***ed up, but on the other hand, he's unwilling to stop doing it.
I've just never seen this life-changing money in front of me in front of a table like that. You know what I mean?
I get it. And you're 20.
What was that first point where you started to notice that, and what did that feel like?
The hate gets to me, I'm not gonna lie, because the hate's different now. It's just like, a lot of people watch me, they don't even like me. It's weird. I honestly, at that point, was like, as long as my friends and me are having fun, making good content, and my community's happy, I didn't really care at that point.
Most creators would panic here. They would apologize, pivot to safe content, and try to win the internet back. But for whatever reason, the Backlash did the exact opposite for Adin.
For me, I kind of liked it. I liked kind of being, you know, not liked by the mainstream crowd. You know, I like that a lot, honestly.
Adin,
Yeah.
quit now, and I will respect you.
Can't quit now.
Then I think then you're turning your head and making blood money.
This was a defining moment for Adin because
See, I don't like stuff like that. If he did quit, are you gonna pay his bills? Like, that's another thing about doing social media. Think about this, right? Let's say you do social media full time. Me, I make custom rugs. I got a rug business, right? So I do rugs. But let's say like just doing social media was like my actual job. If I did this for a year or two, effectively my resume is cooked. It's gonna say I didn't do nothing but make rugs 2 years ago, which isn't really a real skill set for like a manufacturing job at like a company or a power plant. I can't get a job as an electrician. Like, when these people are doing content for all these years, who's gonna hire them? Like, I've seen like, you know, DDG and Deshae do like this fast food work for a day. They're not good at anything but content. No real world stuff. They're not good at nothing. Can't front. Who gonna hire Adin if he just stopped making content? What can you do? You've been sitting in front of a screen being entertaining for years. You have no qualifications.
he realized
They
that
kinda
being
gotta
the
keep
villain
making
paid
content,
better than
can't
being
front.
the hero. So he doubled down. By
It's like
early
an actor, chat.
2022, Adin traded in the Rubet deal
Not
for
about
a
to hire an
massive
actor to
partnership
do
with Stake.
nothing that involves
Stake is a
manual
different beast
labor.
entirely. It's a platform with pockets deep enough to headline F1 teams and Premier League jerseys. So when the pen hit the paper, the financial scale shifted
man, I
instantly.
wanna watch
Suddenly,
soccer
Adin wasn't
so
making
bad. I don't know
life-changing
nothing about it.
anymore. He was
I know
making
it's huge,
few
though.
money. This is where the relationship between Adin and Twitch turned into a dangerous game of cat and mouse. On one side, you have Twitch, owned by Amazon, desperate to keep their platform safe for advertisers like Coke and Disney. On the other side, you have their biggest star, screaming at digital slots and continuing to test every rule in the book.
You have to follow policy and follow rules.
Now, Adin was definitely the face of it, but he wasn't alone. Hordes of streamers were jumping on the crypto casino's payroll. The platform effectively tore itself in two. Half the top creators were cashing these massive checks, while the other half were screaming about the ethics of promoting gambling to kids.
How can you feel good about taking money from people like that?
But here was the problem. Nobody was.
I feel like people who talk about the methods, the methods in which people choose to get money, they gotta lose everything. They gotta have a real down bad situation. Cause like, people sell drugs, people murder people, people are bounty hunters, people traffic people do worse things to get money. And he's at home gambling on his stream, which if you're a parent, you should monitor your kids so they don't do it. There are worse ways to get money than sit in front of a laptop and try to make money through viewership and entertainment or even gambling. You know what I mean? Like, if I had a kid, I'd rather my kid be someone who wants to gamble on his phone than go out into the streets and do like just like, you know, illegal stuff, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not is it the best ideal thing? No, but there are worse things than gambling, bro. Like, it's not even that crazy, I feel like.
Actually breaking the rules. Twitch couldn't punish Adin for something that they allowed. So, they made some changes. they banned unregulated gambling sites entirely. Publicly, they framed it as a moral stance, protecting the kids from the addiction. But if you ask Adin, it wasn't about the morality. It was about the money.
How did that all play out behind the scenes?
So, Pokimane, Hassan, they pushed for Stake being banned on Twitch.
Okay.
I was in the gym and I got a text from someone on my team. Just got off the phone with Twitch. They're not banning Stake, bro. No work. They banned it 30 minutes later. So they banned Stake. Why do they ban Stake? They banned Stake because Stake didn't want to cut Twitch in on a check. What does Twitch do? They go to NFL, they do a DraftKings deal worth billions of dollars. So if you go look at Twitch right now, you can gamble on Twitch. They didn't ban gambling. There's a misconception they banned gambling. No. They banned casinos where they can't make money off of. They are currently monetizing off gambling right now.
Twitch cut off Adin's gravy train, so he had to pivot. But he didn't go back to gaming, and he wasn't all that into the rapper streams either. So he reached out to the one guest that nobody else dared to touch.
I see you all over everywhere. You're like the #1 person right now. You know, no dick suck. Like, bro, like.
Yeah, I've conquered the internet. The internet is mine, all of it. I took it all.
In the span of a single summer, Andrew Tate had gone from total obscurity to being the most viral person on Earth. And Adin's first stream with him went absolutely ballistic.
I thought that too.
It averaged over 100,000 viewers and peaked at 266,118. This was the biggest stream that he had ever done.
You know what I'm thinking about doing instead of like a Lamborghini Urus or something? Black Escalade with a driver. That's what I'm thinking about doing. So smart. You can get so much more work done when you do content.
Bigger than the E-dates, bigger than the rapper streams. There was no way Adin wasn't doing another.
NSP is here
for a very long time. We're about to peak my most viewers ever had.
But there was a massive elephant in the room. Andrew Tate was one of the most, if not the most, controversial person on the planet at the time. And because of that, he was systematically erased from the modern internet. Facebook, Instagram,
anybody
TikTok,
in the chat like how people like in the UK talk? I'm not gonna lie. When I think of Andrew Tate, I just think about like British. Like British. When he be like, when you go to university, he be like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, I don't know, man. That accent, there's something about that accent that just like, it's kind of soothing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, pause. I don't know. Not him specifically, but just the British accent. It's more tolerable. I don't know.
However, Adin once again saw a loophole. Tate didn't have a Twitch account, so technically there was nothing to ban. And no one had explicitly written a rule saying you couldn't talk to him on stream, so while the rest of the world was deplatforming Tate, Adin rolled out the red carpet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you hear me?
For the rest of the year, he milked that loophole for everything it was worth.
Okay, I might be dumb here, but it's 160 out in here right now. What did Andrew Tate get banned for off the internet? Like, what did he do again? Like, I can't remember why Andrew Tate got banned off the internet. I don't remember what he did to get banned off the internet. Could somebody remind me? I don't know what he even did, bro. Nah, it is kind of funny, Ty Dolla.
Even flying across the world to stream with Tate IRL.
I'm top G2, no you're not.
But in January of 2023, the cat finally caught the mouse. Twitch had seen enough and slapped Adin with his 7th ban from the platform, a massive 30-day suspension from streaming. To the executives, it was a disciplinary timeout, a warning shot to force their unruly star back into line. But for Adin...
Yo, how many times you gotta ban somebody off your platform before you think it's like clips? Like, how many chances would you give them? Like, they gave Adin 7 chances. Like, you gotta kind of think about that. Like, that's like kicking somebody out of your house 7 times. How many times do you gotta kick somebody out of your crib before you just feel like they just can't come back no more? Like, how many times, bro? You feel me?
Sitting in silence for a month, locked out of his empire, it didn't feel like a lesson. It felt like an attack. It radicalized him. He realized that Twitch wasn't just enforcing rules, they were rewriting them. And in doing so, they were trying to take away his button forever. Adin was done playing games. He was done with the censorship, and luckily for him, there was something being built behind the scenes. You see, when Twitch banned the major gambling sites, they really pissed off the founders of Adin's old sponsor, Stake.
Eddie, the CEO of Stake and Kick, he says, all right, you know what? Yeah, let's boss up. Makes a streaming platform.
Eddie Craven, who happens to be the youngest billionaire in Australia, decided to step into the ring with Twitch. He wrote out Kick. Kick positioned itself as the antidote to everything wrong with the streaming industry. It prioritized creators over corporate advertisers.
Oh wait, we got a chat. He was having influence on children, and teachers didn't like that in those big platforms. Oh yeah, when the little boys in school was talking junk to the little girls in school. Huh? Could you blame him for that though? Is that his fault? I feel like there's a whole side of the internet doing that right now. Is that his fault? Could you blame one person for that, though? For bad parenting?
It's total creative freedom, stripping away the strict guidelines that had suffocated streamers for years. But a platform with no users is useless. They needed someone big enough to drive real traffic to the site.
My original deal before I got banned on Twitch, which I think was like, what, 2 weeks after I came to Kick? Something like that.
It was
like
close.
A month. I was supposed to go on Twitch, obviously funnel from Twitch to Kick. Twitch didn't like that. It was a big no-no. They took me out, and that was it.
After the 30-day suspension cleared, Adin began dual streaming. He would go live on Twitch, talk to his 7 million followers, and tell them to migrate over to Kick for the real content. But he knew he needed a hook. He needed to show them that Kick was different. So he went on this absurd marketing campaign to test every limit he could imagine.
Recently, there's been this unholy floodgate, like a dam that's broken in the mind of Adin.
Yo, what do you guys think of Asmongold? I feel like he's kind of like pessimistic to me. He's like really negative to me. Every time even how he talks, he reminds me of like ER from Winnie the Pooh. Everything he talks about is like he kind of sounds like a hater though. I don't think he's a hater because I don't know enough about him, but he sounds like a major Debbie Downer and a hater.
Ross's brain that's led to him making the worst decisions imaginable over the last couple months.
What the is going on?
He pulled up live on stream. He tweeted things he knew would incinerate his reputation in the mainstream, including the infamous two genders tweet. It did kind of seem like for a minute you leaned into the villain role. Do you think that's a fair and accurate assumption?
I do. I remember this like it was yesterday. I went over to Kick, I made a tweet, and I said that there are two genders. A lot of people hated me for that. A lot of people are on my...
That's all it take? That's all it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he used 4 words in a number. That's all it took for him to get out of here like that? God. See, this is why I don't stream. This is the scary part. Because I don't want to say nothing that's crazy. That's OD. My boy used 4 words in a letter. Got him out of here.
For that, and the entire world really went at me.
Everybody broke.
But Adin wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I had to kind of say and do some crazy to make Kick pop. I literally might have 2 people in this room this week on stream. Suck my fucking nuts! Stop it! Twitter, you guys are the reason why the internet is soft. Stop! Bang!
He was proving a point. On Kick,
I like that meme of him when he's like, lock this thug up. This fucking thug. Lock him up. I love that meme of him. That's funny. That's why he was tweaking out when he first went on Kick. Because now he seems a lot more mild.
Can't be canceled.
There's no terms of service over there. You guys can say whatever you want on my chat. Nobody can get banned.
But on Twitch, you definitely can.
This is cancel culture. I'm gonna cancel culture.
I'm Adin Ross, and Adin Ross is gonna say what the he says.
In late February 2023, amidst the chaos of his marketing rampage, Twitch had seen enough. They issued his 8th ban. This time, it was permanent.
8 times.
A lot of
we gotta give Twitch some kind of props, bro. You kick somebody out of your crib 8 times in a row. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot, bro.
People on the Kick side of things loved it. And they kept, endorsing it a little bit. Like, oh, yeah, you got it. We love it. We love it. Controversy sells. And it did. And Kick is very successful because of that. So
the bridge was burned, but Adin was standing on the other side, holding the match and laughing. He had successfully migrated his audience. Kick's user base standing on the other side.
Wait, chat. What is that? Who is that guy right there with the baby in the fro? Who is this guy? And why he not wearing a shirt under his jacket? Yo, and why his pants are so tight? And wait, is that a girl or a guy? No homo. Look at the crotch part. Is that a girl or a guy? That look like a moose right there. I know what a moose look like. That look like a moose knuckle. Sus fit, man. And who white baby is that, man? Oh man. Hey, yo, man. Who Adin chilling with?
The match and
That's
laughing.
sick.
He had successfully migrated his audience. Kick's user base exploded, growing over 400% in months, largely off the back of Adin's controversy. By mid-2023, Adin Ross had achieved something that is statistically impossible in the influencer economy. He had been banned, deplatformed, and labeled a public enemy, and yet he was bigger than ever.
Too far? I don't give a cancel me. I don't give a
In any other story, this is the part where the creator gets humble. They apologize. They try to rebrand to save their career.
Did you feel like that backlash was like deserved?
No, I don't. I think that the things I say and the things I do is what 90-something% of the streamers and the online people say off camera and do off camera.
He realized that on Kick, there were no referees. He had equity, he had a contract, and most importantly, he had an audience that followed him because of the chaos, not in spite of it. He was technically uncancelable. So instead of pivoting to safety, he started treating real life like a side quest. He launched a boxing promotion company cleverly named Brand Risk. He saw the massive numbers in influencer fighting and decided he wanted to own his own league.
Netflix Most Valuable Promotions Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson mega event makes history with over 108 million live global viewers.
This was his crack at trying to build a billion-dollar business that could outlast his streaming career.
I launched a brand. My Brand Risk brand. Yeah.
He revamped the rapper streams at the highest of levels, bringing on names like 21 Savage and Playboy Cardi. He pulled off the biggest stream of his life, an interview with Donald Trump that peaked at over 500.
Yo, do y'all remember that chat? Playboy finessed Adin so hard. I felt bad, bro. Pulled up, barely showed his face, got the bag and dipped. That was crazy.
80,000 viewers. He was untouchable. But when you beat the game at 22 years old, you run into a new problem. It's not cancellation, it's boredom.
I couldn't realize it, but when I was grinding, that was like the peak feeling of me when I was accomplishing all this stuff. I got this and I got that and I did that and I did this, and I just feel like I've kind of already conquered a lot of the things, like at a really young age.
Sure. And what does it feel like to conquer things at a young age?
I don't know. I honestly, man, it's fucked up, because honestly, like, that's what drives me crazy sometimes. Like, what do I do now?
This explains the erratic behavior we saw throughout 2024. This cycle wasn't about him trying to change and failing, it was about him trying to feel something. He would announce that he was retiring, then come back a week later. He would say he's moving back to Miami to find his roots, then fly back to LA. He would swear off gambling, claim that he was done with the toxicity, only to sign a new deal with Stake or Rainbet just months later. To the audience, it looked like a struggle for his soul, but to Adin, it was just content.
Every time I have trauma, I put it in my back of my brain. I'm very desensitized. My brain is very desensitized.
He had pushed the button so many times that the lights didn't look as bright anymore.
It's super hard for me to sometimes feel things. I don't know. It's almost like I'm emotionless, and like I feel like I beat the game.
And that's a dangerous place to be, because when the normal thrill wears off, you have to raise the stakes just to feel the pulse. You said that a lot of...
That's an interesting thought. What happens if you got everything that you wanted? What would happen to you then? How would you think? How would you feel? How would you move? What would you want to do with your life? And I think some of these guys that's so young and extreme and they get on so early, they got to hit that early. Like, kind of like Kai Cenat. Like, Kai Cenat talking about mental health because he has this fright of wanting to be successful, and he's getting the part where he's already beat the game and then some. There are adults in this world that will never have the financial stability that he's touched. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying money is everything, but I am saying, like, for him to be in his own head and be afraid of success while he already got success, it's such a weird thing. Like, Kai already successful, but in his mind, he has a fear of not being successful at the next thing that he does. He's so high on top of the mountain that no matter what he do, he's never going to flop. It ain't going to be a complete flop. You don't get 1 million people on your live at one time. You don't get LeBron James to cut your dreads off and then flop. It don't go like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so it just kind of make you think about stuff like that. Like, people are going to hit this stage of boredom because they got everything way earlier. And retirement is going to be like, I don't want to say a thing of the past, but people are going to start to retire a lot earlier in the game is where I kind of see the future going with content, social media.
People can't hate you online because they don't know the real you.
What's good, AR? Booming.
At the time, you definitely said that you were leaning into the villain role. Have you pulled back from that villain character? And are you... No?
Nah, I love being the villain.
So what's the most true and authentic version of Adin Ross?
I think the fact that I would do a stream with 6ix9ine if he calls me up tomorrow. I think the fact that I would do a stream with anybody. I would do a stream with Jeffrey Epstein if he was still alive. Just a question. I'll do a stream with Diddy. No, I'm not joking. People that genuinely have been completely stripped from platforms and affected in their real life, they deserve some chance of speaking. They deserve some way of talking. That's where it needs to head. I don't have to like you, but I think everyone deserves their voice. And that's my whole stance on that.
As of today, the machine is still running. Adin Ross proved that you can build an empire on controversy. He proved that if you bring enough eyes and enough money, the rules don't apply to you. But the victory looks a lot like a trap. He's admitted openly that he feels like a puppet, a slave to the entertainment. He feeds the chat the chaos they crave because he's terrified that if he stops, the screen goes black.
It's like people know me when they see me, but they don't know me. People just will look at me as like I'm like this puppet, this entertainment puppet. Whatever you guys want, bro. I'll do GTRP. I don't care. I'm a slave to you guys, bro. What do you guys want, bro? I'm a slave. I don't care, bro. I'm a puppet.
Whether you love him or you hate him, it's hard to deny that Adin Ross changed streaming forever. He shattered the corporate safety of Twitch and ushered in a new era of raw, unfiltered, and often dangerous content. He built a button that prints money. But the thing about the button is once you start pressing it, it's almost impossible to stop. If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. At the time of recording this, we're at 95,580 subscribers, and we're trying...
Golf cart W video, man. It was really informative, and I learned a lot about Adin Ross. If I didn't know who he was before, I definitely know something about him now. That's fire. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to holler at you in the next video. Click this video or some link over here. Go watch the next one. If we're still on Twitch, let's rock out and watch another video.